Evaluating more expressions here. Just a note, when evaluating expressions or equations, put parentheses around the numbers you are substituting into that expression. So here's an example. If we evaluate this expression right here, when a equals -3 and b equals -2, I'm going to put -3 everywhere there's an a with parentheses around it. And I'm going to put -2 everywhere there's a b with parentheses around it. So this would be -2 parentheses, which means times that entire -3 squared minus 3, okay, minus 3 times a. What's a? -3 with the parentheses around it, so it doesn't look like subtraction. We're multiplying here. B is -2 with parentheses around it, plus 4 times b squared. B is -2 squared. Now you just work this out. Do your exponents first. -3 squared is 9. And that's all I did really on that step, except for over here. -2 squared is 4. Now do your multiplication. -2 times 9 is -18. A -2 times a -3 is 6. And 6 times 3 is 18. So it's going to be minus 18 right there. And then 4 times 4 is 16 is what we should have right there. 16. Now -18 minus 18 is a -36. And a -36 plus 16 is a -20. -36 plus 16, -20. Let's do another one of these. Let's try this one here from scratch. This one, we're evaluating this expression, so I would say -2 parentheses. What are we substituting in for a? Well, -2. That gets squared. Then we have minus 3 times what's a? Well, -2 times b, which is -1, plus 4 times b, which is -2 cubed. Okay, I would work out my exponents first, so that would give me -2 times, well, -2 squared is -2 times -2, or 4. And then here we'd have minus, well, let's see, we'd have minus -1 times -2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, so minus 6. Then plus 4 times -2 cubed is -2 times -2 times -2. 3 negatives multiplied together give you a negative, so that would be -8. Now go ahead and do your multiplication. -2 times 4 is -8. Then we have a minus 6. Then -8 times 4 is a minus 32. So we have plus a -32, which is the same as subtracting off 32. And if you work this out, -8 minus 6 is -14. -14 minus 32 is a -46. And that would be the answer to that problem. Let's move on to some other ones. Here's a couple more problems on evaluating expressions. Evaluate this expression right here when x equals -4 and y equals -2. So again, the first step is to substitute these numbers in with parentheses around them. So it will be -2, parentheses, we're substituting a -4 in for x, so parentheses -4, that gets cubed, minus 5, parentheses, -2, over, on the denominator we have minus x, which is a -4, so minus x, which is a -4, plus 2 times y, which is a -2. Now do your exponents next. So we'll have -4 cubed, which is -4 times -4 times -4, which is -64, and that's all I did there. And down on the bottom, the negative of -4 is 4, plus 2 times a -2. Well, 2 times -2 is a -4, and plus a -4 is the same as -4. Up on the top, -2 times -64 is 128, and -2 times 5 is -10, and subtracting off a -10 is the same as adding 10. And on the denominator, we got 4 minus 4, which is 0. Well, this ends up giving us a division by 0 here, and division by 0 is undefined, so that's actually the right answer to this problem, is undefined. Let's do this one. On this problem, we're evaluating this expression when x equals -5 and y equals -4. So it would be minus x, so minus what's x? A -5 plus y, which is a -4, over minus x minus a -5 minus y, which is a -4. Okay, the minus of a -5 is +5. Adding a -4 is the same as subtracting 4. The minus of a -5 is 5, and the minus subtracting off a -4 is the same as adding 4. On the top, 5 minus 4 is 1. On the denominator, 5 plus 4 is 9, so we end up with 1/9, or as a decimal, 0.1 bar, meaning that the 1 goes on forever. And that's evaluating expressions.